When I bought my 200-acre ranch on the edge of town, I thought I'd finally found peace. Wide open land, cattle grazing, a big red barn, and enough space to forget the chaos of city life. What I didn't expect was that a nearby HOA-controlled neighborhood would decide my land was theirs to play with. Started small. Joggers from the subdivision cut across my pastures. Teenagers used my creek as their swimming hole. I put up no trespassing signs, but they vanished within days. Then one afternoon, I rode my ATV up the ridge and found something unbelievable. The HOA had installed a wrought iron fence straight across my property line, with a shiny new gate that funneled my own ranch road into their subdivision entrance. I stormed over to their next board meeting. Karen, the HOA president with the permanent scowl, smirked at me like I was a child throwing a tantrum. "That land was unused," she said, waving her hand dismissively. "We just decided to make it part of our community greenbelt. You should thank us. It raises property values." "Raises yours maybe," I shot back, "but you fenced me out of my own road." She leaned forward with a sneer. "Well, unless you join the HOA and pay dues, you don't get a key." That was it. She'd crossed the wrong rancher. See, Karen didn't bother checking land deeds. That road? It wasn't unused. It was my legally recorded right-of-way, and it stretched directly through their subdivision. Which meant if I wanted to, I could exercise my property rights in a way none of them would like. So I did. A week later, contractors arrived on my dime. By sundown, a brand new 8-foot steel fence encircled their entire neighborhood. I left one gate, just one, at the main road. And guess who owned the only key? Me. When Karen and her board came screeching up to my ranch house, they were fuming. "You can't lock us in," she yelled, waving a stack of papers. I calmly pulled out my documents, the original land survey, the deed, and the easement records showing their subdivision sat landlocked, with the only legal access running through my ranch road. "You fenced me out," I said, leaning on my porch rail. "Now I've returned the favor. Only difference? I've got the paperwork, and the sheriff agrees with me." And sure enough, when they tried calling the county, the sheriff himself told them, "He's within his rights. Maybe you shouldn't have built on land you don't control." For weeks, they were trapped. Delivery trucks couldn't get in. Their Amazon packages piled up at the gate. One guy even tried climbing over the fence to get to work, only to get chased off by my cattle. Eventually, the HOA begged me to negotiate. I told them I'd be happy to restore their access, on 2 conditions: they tear down every inch of their illegal fence on my ranch. They sign a binding agreement that they would never attempt to control or restrict my land again. Oh, and just to make sure they understood, I added a little kicker. They'd pay me $50,000 for inconvenience fees before I'd even consider giving them their own gate key. The vote was unanimous. They folded. Karen tried to save face by announcing at their next HOA meeting that she had personally resolved the dispute. But it was hard to look powerful when everyone in the neighborhood knew she'd been outmaneuvered by the rancher she tried to bully. Now, I keep the only master key. They've got their own gate code, sure, but that code only works because I allowed it. Every time they drive through, they know they're crossing my land. And every time Karen sees me riding my ATV by the fence line, I make sure to tip my hat. Because out here, it's simple. You fence me in, I fence you out. And the difference is I play for keeps.